Hello, welcome back to this podcast, Takes Tokens. I'm Ryan, joined by my brother Derek. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about a really fun movie today, and but before we get into that, we're going to go over our retro ramble section, where we ask each other a question the week before, and then we answer it today. So, my question that I asked you last week was, what was your favorite Lego set growing up? Or as a kid, whatever. Same thing.
Yeah, as a kid. Well, definitely as a kid. You asked me this question, and I immediately had my answer, because I really didn't have, like, a ton of Lego sets growing up. I had, like, a little red plastic Lego briefcase that Lego put out to, like, I guess, hold all your Legos. It was the loudest, most obnoxious thing in the world, I'm sure. But that held all of my Legos, and it wasn't even halfway full. All the Legos I ever had in the world. I remember I had at least 2 big sets, and by big, I mean big for the time. At the time, they didn't make these gargantuan 6,000 piece sets. They made the average set, like the larger sets were maybe 1,000 pieces if you were lucky. So I had like a forest one, like I forget what they call it. It was like it was knights. Sorry, it was knights, and there was like a little woods, like a tree, I think, and then there was like a section of wall, maybe part of a tower, and some knights and horses and stuff like that. And then there was also a spaceship that I had, like this black and gray spaceship, and a couple of spacemen. And I remember it had like this, it was really angular, and I liked that one. That was probably my favorite one. And I was able to like kind of take that one and turn it into like several different ships. And I would play with it, and I'd build my own ships. I had like a couple of connector pieces and some flexible, like the pieces that folded and stuff like that. So I was able to build some fun stuff with it. And that was always my favorite thing to do, was just build different like ships out of that, or especially building ships that would like come apart into like 2 different ships, or and then nest back together. Like I guess in my head I was making kind of like a international space station, or just like 2 ships that would dock together to become one larger ship. But yeah, that was always my favorite thing to do. How about you?
So was the spaceship thing, was it built to come apart like that and to make different kinds of ships? Do you remember? Or was it just something that you just made?
I think it was something that I did. Like, I'm pretty sure it was all like just like one ship originally.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, or what the original thing looked like, because I don't have the instructions anymore.
Yeah, right. Which you can find them. Like, that's one thing that I love about like Lego's website. You can get on there and you can look up the instructions for any set they've ever built. That they've ever made, and it's so you can just make anything. I was never that creative with them. When I was a kid and as I grew up, I just really had a great joy in just building what they're wanting me to build. And I played with them. I remember having, fights and stuff with them and things like that. Especially later on when they started coming out with the Star Wars ones. That was a lot of fun. But my favorite ones, because I think when you and I were growing up, they didn't have a whole lot of sets, right? They had like the city set, which would have the spaceship and stuff like that. And they had the city stuff. They had like a Robin Hood theme sort of a thing. I think it was like, or maybe that came hand in hand with the night theme. It was like a night. It had castles in the forest and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they had like a pirate theme, and I feel like that was about everything they had back then.
That's about it. And then maybe each set would get 1 new release a year.
Yeah. It didn't seem like there was like a whole lot, and. Yeah, so like my favorite one, it was I actually looked it up here, so I did not remember this all this information on it, but it was set number 6075 Wolfpack Tower, and it was one of the night sets. The Wolfpack was like the bad guys, if I remember right, of the knights, and it had it's got like a little drawbridge, or not a drawbridge, but like a little bridge with it, and it sets on a blue. Are you looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sets on like, so for those listening, it sets on like a blue, one giant blue piece, so it's like water. But I remember that piece, there's like a hinge where it's like this cave opens up underneath the castle. I still think, I think I might still have this piece. And then I remember the ghost, because this Wolfpack stuff, they started coming out with these ghosts that would glow in the dark. And I thought those were the coolest things ever. But yeah, this set was so much fun. I remember this thing. And then I think I had like other castle sets and stuff. But for some reason, this one I just thought was so cool because it had the little trap door that would open up and you had the ghost and everything with it. And I just had a lot of fun with that one. So yeah, that was my jam. Those night ones. You just don't see those very much anymore. Like I've looked for the night ones.
I think they just recently started bringing stuff like that back.
Have they really? Okay.
Yeah, Bruce got one last year. I think it was called like Blacktronic or something like that.
Okay.
And it's like it looks very similar to the spaceship I remember having. And yeah, they've been doing all these like throwback sets. And I think they did one for the Knights as well recently. Okay. I know they did Pirates, I want to say. But yeah, they've been doing some throwback sets here and there. And
I'll have to look that up. I really like a lot of times, I'm not gonna say every time, but a lot of times when I go to the store, I'll look at the Lego sets.
Oh yeah.
I'm never gonna buy them. Like I want to buy them just to build them, but
where are you gonna put them?
Yeah, where am I gonna put them at? So like there's one like this Tranquil Garden set that I really want, and I found it like I found it on Amazon, and then there was like a third party lighting kit that you can put into it, and it looks so cool. I've got no place to put it. I really want to get it, but anyway, yeah, that's my.
A lot of them like you can only find like on Lego's website or in their stores. Like they don't, they're not in like Target or Walmart or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, if you're not near a Lego store, you're not seeing a lot of them. Like we go to the Lego store probably like once a month and just kind of.
Oh, really?
Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got cool stuff there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Cool sense.
Perks of being in the city, I guess.
That's right. So anyway, let us know what your favorite Lego set was. What's your favorite Lego set now? Throw in the comments. Yeah. Towards the end of the show, we'll talk about them if you throw anything in there. And yeah, we'll get the show going here in just a second.
All right. Your local video store card.
A comic book in your back pocket.
Games with no tutorials.
Music you had to discover.
And drinking water straight from the hose.
These are the things us millennials remember fondly. We are the Jennings brothers.
Join us after the streetlights come on
as we race our bikes from the top of the hill
right down memory lane.
Exchange those quarters because this podcast takes tokens.
Oh, I think you muted.
There we go. Now I'm not muted. Anyway. I'll do it
Start
again.
over.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast takes tokens! And Stillwater. That's all I had. You always have the best like intros of these things. I never know what to do. So I'm kind of like, that's kind of his thing. And anyway. Almost Famous is what we're talking about today. Great movie about music and anyway, yeah, released September 13th, 2000. We'll just get into it here. Budget of $60 million. Now, this was kind of a weird thing, and maybe still is, but at the time, the music budget on this, normally like a music budget I was reading for like a movie is like 1 million, 1.5 million or something like that. This was $3.5 million they spent.
Because they got Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah. The soundtrack to this movie is so good. Like it's just every great song from the 70s that you would ever need to listen to.
But it's seriously, it's Led Zeppelin. They demand such a high amount for using their music in movies. In fact, they really? Wouldn't. They don't allow the use of Stairway and Stairway to Heaven in so many.
Hence Wayne's World's No Stairway.
Yeah, yeah, No Stairway. Yeah, so it doesn't. I can't think of a movie that it's used in. I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's used in some movies. Somewhere it has to have been used in a movie because I've heard it other places. But I know that they are notorious for that as their like last song that they will allow to be used in a movie. And so yeah, I'm sure they paid a pretty penny just to use it. But Cameron Crowe was pretty tight with them because this is all based off of like his actual life and events and stuff. And so yeah, he knew them and he was able to talk them into letting him use some of the music. He just couldn't talk them into Stairway to Heaven. But there was a deleted scene where they play Stairway to Heaven in its entirety. And they had to cut it because they couldn't get the rights to the song. Yeah. But if you've seen it, it's like it's fine to be cut because it's kind of long. Like
that's a long song. I mean, like, I can't imagine. Just, I mean, I like the song. Who doesn't like the song? But just like sitting there in a movie, you're like, okay, let's. Yeah.
And it's like the scene is like 4 or 5 people just sitting around staring at each other, listening to the song. Like that's it. So it's very like. You're just listening to the song. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. No. You're fine. Yeah. Anyway, that was it. The budget, extra budget of $3.5 million on this. Now I was going to say. They're so stingy. Zeppelin's so stingy with their music. Yet, like, you remember they had like Black Dog in what was like our car commercial, like a couple years ago.
Yeah. That was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, maybe I'm sure they made good money on that too. So, whatever.
Yeah, they got to send their grandkids to college.
They wrote the songs. Let them make all the money they can off it. That's what I say.
Or not.
So, or not, I guess. I don't know. It's not my money. So.
Right.
Speaking of money, earnings on this. So on a $60 million budget, do you want to take a guess we'll do US then worldwide. And I think this is
I already know.
Okay.
I already know. Well, it's disappointing, but
it's disappointing.
It's just what it was.
U.S. made $31.7 million, and then worldwide combined was 47.4. Absolutely did not make a dime of its money back.
But it's a cult
unfortunately,
hit.
I think it is a cult hit. I'm curious to see how much, if it's like recoup that over time with like
we need to find somewhere that's got DVD sales
stuff
too.
Like that. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see. Because, gosh, I mean, it is a cult hit. This really is a great movie. Leading us into the Rotten Tomatoes.
Right? So, it got really popular when it came to DVD.
Oh, yeah. Tomato meter. What do you think tomato meter was on this?
That I didn't look up, so no spoilers for me.
Good.
Tomato meter, I'm thinking the critics like this one. I bet this one probably got somewhere in the 80 range, and then I'm going to go ahead and guess the audience score is probably around the same.
Okay,
I would say low 80s.
You're just you're low. You're a little low. I was pleasantly surprised by this. Tomato meter was 91%, and the popcorn meter is 92%. So like one of the rare instances where critics and the average viewer are like pretty much right on the same page with each other. Excellent movie. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
great
movie.
Great movie. What do you think on your rewatch of it?
It's been a while since I've watched it. Rewatching it, there was definitely like moments that it was like, oh, I forgot about that, and it kind of like I don't remember a whole lot of like lulls. Like usually whenever you rewatch a movie, there's moments where you're like, I can kind of tune out for a few minutes here.
Yep.
I didn't really have that. Although I do think I'm coming at it from a different perspective now whenever I rewatch this movie, because it has been at least 10 years since I've seen this movie. And I view it differently. I guess, well, I don't view it differently. I pick up on different things, and I'm seeing it a little differently. Like I didn't notice before on my earlier viewings how much of a prima donna Jason Lee's character was as the lead singer. Yeah. Like he was just like, he wanted all that attention on him.
I agree with you. I had forgotten about that. Like I had forgotten about kind of the infighting that was going on
Yeah.
with this band, and how Russell was really more of the front man than Jason Lee's character. I can't remember what his name is. Jason Lee's character was.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. And seeing, really, I don't know if she's the driving force behind it or not, but Penny is, she says something, and it's something I picked up on. She says something to William earlier in the movie that Russell is, the rest of the band is good, but Russell is great.
Yeah.
And I think that she, in a way, like, with the time that she spends with him, has like maybe instilled that in him a little bit, like made him start to think that, because you see where he is kind of like pulling himself away from the band, in a way.
Like she
he
inflated
does
him a little bit.
Yeah.
Built him up a little bit.
Yep. He does he gets that. He kind of gets almost I don't want to say a superiority complex, but it kind of is there a little bit, I think, for part of the movie.
I would say that, like, I don't know. Yeah, not necessarily superiority, but I think she definitely started whispering in his ear and basically saying, or getting him to notice and look around and go, oh, all these other band members have peaked, whereas I still have I have ways to go before I start to peak.
Yes.
And so I'm only going to go so far as they are at their height right now.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, where do I go? What's that next step look like? Do I leave them behind? Do I try and pull them up with me and then never realize my true peak, if you will? But yeah, I could see that. She was, I mean, we don't know like what was going on behind their closed doors.
No.
Oddly enough. They never kind of showed us that, but we're on the ride with William. We're seeing it from his point of view, through his eyes. And I heard somebody, or I read something about it because I was doing some research, and somebody mentioned that we're seeing this through William's eyes and his point of view, and you can really tell that watching the movie because you don't see a lot of the SDR that they describe this lifestyle with. Like, it's just not, I mean, it's there sometimes a little bit, but it's not there to the extent that you would expect to have seen it. And that's because we're viewing this world through his eyes, his innocent 15-year-old eyes.
Yeah.
Which is just wild. 15
Isn't
years
that
old.
Wild? I mean, it is like, and especially how much he kind of becomes, and I don't know what the time span is on this where he's on the road with them. I would think a couple weeks, maybe a month.
I think it was only supposed to be a few days or a week.
It
I don't think it was supposed to be that long, and ended up being just
he could never get the interview with Russell. He almost becomes like an unofficial band member towards the end, and it's weird. And the reason, what I mean by that is he's really close with all of them. Like, he knows the ins and outs of all of them fairly well because he's been on the road with them. He's seen them every day for 20 hours a day or 24 hours a day or whatever. What was it? Oh, yes. So I think it's interesting how he's that close to them, but the band almost, and I think it's really Russell, almost like keeps him as innocent as they can. So he doesn't see all that, SDR and, like we're talking and everything. Of course there's a scene where he, the girls are just like, let's, whatever. But I really think like Russell becomes almost like a big brother figure to him. I feel like
kind of, yeah.
And he because the rest of the band, well, especially Jason Lee, you can't let him go with us. He's the enemy, he's
doesn't trust him at all.
Yeah, I don't trust him. And he's like, come on. He's just trying to do his thing. And, I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly where I was going with that thought, but, just
you wander down the path, and now we're there.
Yeah. I mean, so one thing I did pick up on, another thing I did pick up on watching this again. So when I first watched it, I remember I wasn't a parent. I'm watching this now, and I do kind of relate with his mother a little more, where she like, I know that she's like, especially in the beginning with his sister with Zooey Deschanel and everything, like she's very, very strict.
Oh yeah.
But like, she softens obviously because when he gets a little bit older, he's got all these records playing. He's got all this rock music posters up on his, on his walls. He's writing stuff. I think he's already written a few things for Cream, I think.
Yeah.
And
his local paper and everything too.
Yeah. But she's constantly like worried about him when he's on the road, don't take drugs. Don't
do drugs.
Yeah. And she like, I'm watching this. I'm like, she is like, that's a brave woman to let your 15-year-old son go out on the road like that with a traveling band for, I mean, I know it was only supposed to be a few days, but like it turns into a few weeks, and
yeah,
she's not happy with it, but she kind of just has to go along with it.
I think he's proved himself, though. No,
you do?
Yeah, like I don't know if I could not do that either.
But no,
he's proved himself at this point. Like he's 15 and graduating high school, which okay,
that's true.
So yeah, she's all concerned about rock and roll music and sugar corrupting her kids for whatever reason. But she has no problem lying to him about his age for like the better part of his entire life.
Yeah.
Shaving off what, 2-3 years off of his age?
Yeah. Yep.
Like he's in high school and he realizes he's 11 or something like that. It's just insane.
But I mean, that's why his sister Lee, like she calls her out on it, right? She's like, that's what she's saying. Like, you're so uptight about all this, but you're lying to him about his age, which is just weird to me. Like, it's just that's just an odd plot point to me for this movie,
right? That feels like that would just make things more complicated for him to not know how old he really was.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I don't know. A different time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not that common to have somebody go that far ahead in a grade, I guess. I don't know. I didn't live through the 70s. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, no.
I do like the older sister. And, like, very much so, like, looking out for him and wanting the best for him. And you can just see, like, all these, like, older kids and adults that really take the time to talk with him and meet him, or not meet him on his level, but give him the chance he will meet them on their level. And whenever they recognize that, for them to just be like, oh yeah, okay, this kid, like, he's wise beyond his years. He's got, insight and, what they say, he's like an old soul. But yeah. And then like the sister, right? Like her parting words, someday you'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's just like,
someday you'll be cool.
That's like, I think we all need that person in our life at around that age to just tell us basically, like, I mean, that was like the early version of, it'll work out. It's okay. Don't worry about like what's happening right now. It gets better, if you will.
Yeah.
And, I think we all needed that. At that age, I think you need somebody, somebody that you respect or look up to tell you it's going to be okay.
It's gonna be all right.
Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You'll be cool. Don't worry.
Yeah. And then she puts the records under his bed. He opens them up, and what's he see?
Yeah.
That sounds.
I saw that.
For the listeners, I'm holding the vinyl for Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. First vinyl I ever bought. Love it. But I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have that. I have that album.
What a collection. Man.
Oh my gosh. And she just leaves it to him.
Yeah, well, you can't like listen to him on the road. They didn't have record players in cars or anything.
No, they didn't. But I mean, that's a pretty good collection that she's just like, here you go.
That's handing down wisdom. That's what that is.
Yeah. I do love it was humorous to me. It was funny when she's leaving, right? She got the curlers in her hair and all this stuff. And she's like, this song explains why I'm leaving home and becoming a stewardess. It's like Simon and Garfunkel is going to do the talking for me, Mom. I'm going to grab my stuff. You listen to this. And then Frances McDormand's just like, you just can't tell me?
Right.
Like, why you're like...
She just doesn't understand music. Like, I don't think she gets music at all. Like, I think that's like... I think she might be like... She's just like... There's an emotional detachment, it seems like, with her.
Yeah.
Or stunting or something. I don't know. And maybe it has something to do with like how they lost their dad. They didn't really get into that. They just said that he died at some point whenever he was much younger. So I wonder if that has some, like, if that just like hardened her and, you know, emotionally she just kind of like shut down or what. But there's definitely like, like some stunted or bricked up emotion happening there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, she's very much so like, you know, like whenever she tells, what's his name? Russell, who's on the phone when he was on the phone with her that first time. And she's like, you know, basically, you know, if you let anything happen to him, I will come find you.
Yeah.
You will not like it.
Yes, ma'am. Like his demeanor just changes.
It shifted quickly. Yeah.
Like she's all in mom mode, but like she has, I think, a part to play with Russell's kind of arc too, because that's really where she talks with him, you know, and she's like, you can do better. Like you can be better than this. And you can see it when I'm not sure that's the exact verbiage that she says, but you can see it when she talks to him on the phone. Like just his face, he's like, I can do better than this. Like, I don't have to be this like party animal guy. You know what I mean? Like I can better my life. You're smiling.
The funny part is like, he took it as, oh, I can be a better musician. I can tell better stories. I can do this thing better. And what she meant was, you can do better than rock and roll. Like you could be a construction worker or whatever. Yeah. You can totally have a better life than whatever this is. But like the words, you know, you take the words, however you take the words, and like they just had that impact.
I think he even takes it on a deeper level though. Like maybe not there, but when she talks to him again, when you know, Penny sends him inadvertently, to the house, you know, unbeknownst to him, over to William's house, and she talks to him again before she opens that door up. You know, she's like, my son means a lot to me, and I can't remember, like you can do better. You can be a good man, or whatever it is she says, like that. You can see it in him again, and he's just like, okay, like I need to go make this right. I need to go in here and I need to fix this, which again, like that's one thing that bothered me about Russell all this time. Like him and William have this, like they just grow this bond, right? And then they get off the plane, which I want to get to in a minute. That scene's great. They get off the plane and they part ways, and Russell stops and turns back to William and says, write what you want. And he seemed very genuine in that moment. Yeah. And then he writes the truth, and then Russell's the one that ends up denying it to Rolling Stone.
Yeah, but all that came before. The denial came before he showed up.
No, right. No, I'm talking about when they get off the plane, before they're leaving the airport. He tells him to go ahead and write what you want. Like, because it's almost like the near-death experience gave him, you know, like a new lease on life, or, you know, whatever it was. But then he writes it, and then the band's reading it, and they're like, we didn't say that. We didn't do this. And Russell knows that it's true. What was written down there.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was so much that they were like, we didn't say or do that. I think, they were more concerned about the way they were coming off.
Right.
They weren't necessarily denying that all of it was true in their little conversation. So Rolling Stone contacted them, and then they're like, hey, you know, Rolling Stone's talking to us. What's going on? You know, the story's coming out and all this stuff that he's reporting on, you know. This makes us look like animals. Like we're just like some little band that can't get it together, I think is what Jason Lee says, or something along those lines. And at that point, I think as a band, they were like, "Oh, we can't let this come out. We have to squash this." And then that's whenever they denied it. I think then they came back to Rolling Stone and were like, "No, none of that's true." Like,
Yeah.
100% denial. And it was because it was Russell, I believe, is the one that they credited with denying 90% of it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
In the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, like funny that he made that flip. But I think he did it because he saw how his band felt about it. And he was more concerned with keeping them happy than growing. And then it's later on, whenever they have that one-on-one conversation in his room, that he's like, "Oh, I need to," it's in, with the mom and everything, that he's like, "Oh, I need to, it should be about growth, not about like keeping the party going." And then, he has that realization and everything gets turned back.
Stillwater runs deep, and
right.
The cover of Rolling Stone, which again, Russell's in the front. And then,
everybody's behind him.
Yeah, everybody's behind him. But, I assume at that point, because, they're on stage at the end there, and Russell goes over to Jason Lee and, he like on stage, like kisses him on the head or whatever, and they're having a good time, and, they're playing or whatever. So it's like, water under the bridge, or still water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge.
Whatever.
It's funny that they were able to like cancel the story for the cover and flip it to something else, and then flip it right back again whenever the story got reversed. Like, what's the timeline here? Because it seemed like they were on a deadline and they needed it right away, and then suddenly they got time for Russell to like fly across country and show up and like change his story and everything.
I took it as they went ahead and they switched the story for that cover, for that issue.
Oh, issue.
The next issue, or maybe 2 months later, 2 weeks later. I don't remember how often Rolling Stone came out, if it was weekly or if it was okay. It
was bi-weekly. Well, it was when I was subscribed to it. It was bi-weekly.
Okay. Well, maybe the next couple issues, they finally decide to publish that. But what is with that woman that works for Rolling Stone? Like, she has got a grudge out for William. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know if there's some jealousy there because he writes so well, or like what is going on. But she is like all about, like, even before they go to fact check anything, she's like, "I'm fact checking this. He didn't write any of this. He's not going to write any of this." I'm like, whoa. Like, what?
I think
what
it was
is
that
going
he was
on
a
here?
kid. I think it was that he was a kid and
so?
she made a snap judgment and then was just sticking with it. And like, nah, I'm right. Like, there's no way. Yeah, I think that, because like they were all kind of like, "Oh, he's just like some kid." And that's just kind of the response he got from everybody. Like, whenever the band showed up, they were like, "Oh, he's just some kid."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the way, so to harken back to like kind of the beginning, he's trying to get in and do his interview with, I think he was supposed to do an interview with Sabbath to begin with. Like, that was like his first assignment.
Yep.
Which
Give me
didn't happen.
1,000 words on Black Sabbath. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if that ever ended up happening or not, but that would have been kind of a fun little cameo for the movie. Like, but whatever.
Put it all on Zeppelin. So
right. But so he's trying to get in, and the bouncer's just like, not even like, I don't think the bouncer even looked at the list. I think the bouncer just saw this kid and was like, "No, you're not on the list."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he just kind of like glanced back over his shoulder and was like, "No, you're not on the list." And then he kept like, trying to like convince the guy, "No, I'm with the magazine." And the bouncer's like, "No," keeps slamming the door. And finally, he's not even giving him the chance to say anything. He's just slamming the door. And then he tries to get in with the girls, and the bouncer's like, "Nope, he's not coming with y'all." And they're like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "Nope, not going to happen." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll get it fixed for you, whatever." And she goes back in there, and I'm watching it. And in the moment, I'm like, oh, story-wise, like, he can't be saved by her. He has to make this happen for himself.
Yeah.
Like, if she gets him in there, then I don't know, it doesn't work the same. Like, he really needs to like earn it himself. And then he kind of like sweet talks with the band and with Stillwater and everything, and they get him in, and it worked out for him. He managed to get his way in there, which was like, he made his own way in, and he made up his own game.
And I love that scene too, because he's trying to talk to Still, like, "Let me in, because I'm with Cream," and they're like, whatever. Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then he like starts talking about their music, like really about their music. And they're like, "Oh, okay." So it's like their ego
Yeah,
He's like,
he strokes it a
okay,
little bit.
let's let this kid in, But yeah, towards at the end of it, like when he's getting ready to leave, he's like calling, everybody's, talking to him on a first, well, the enemy, but like they're, he knows everybody on a first name basis, or whatever. He's like, see you later, enemy, come to the, whatever city they were going to be at next or whatever, and we'll talk with you. But yeah,
talk you some more.
Yeah, that was, that's one of I think one of the better scenes is just how that whole relationship just sprouts with him and the band, and then with Penny, and then in the introduction of Penny, and we're Band-Aids. Like
we're here so ridiculous.
Such delusion. It absolutely is. Yeah.
Which, like, whenever he first introduces Penny to Russell, like the first time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, he made that happen. He introduced them. It wasn't until this last time I was watching it that I picked up on, oh no, they've known each other for a couple of summers now.
Yeah.
Which means that she was, 14 whenever they met? 15 at best?
I think she's older than that. I think when he's telling her his age, I think she's almost like tongue in cheek being like, yeah, me too. When he's like, I'm 19.
Okay.
She's like, I'm 19 too. Okay, I'm 18. I'm 18. Like, I think that she's playing with him a little bit.
Okay.
There.
How old do you think she was?
She's 20 or 21. I don't think she was that old. But
no,
I don't think she.
You don't think she was that young?
No.
Okay.
I think she was right around maybe 18. Like, no, I wouldn't even say that. I'm going to say about 20. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say about 20 years old.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's just, I don't know.
How long do you think she's been going around with bands? Because, like, they talk about her like she's a legend or
she
something.
Is a legend, right? Like, she knows Bowie. She knows, which David Bowie there was actually a scene written for David Bowie in this. And I know, like, they've got that whole scene, like, oh, he's Bowie, and it's some guy acting like Bowie and going to but they actually had a scene written for him. And I think there was like scheduling conflicts or something was what I was reading that he couldn't make it to actually do it. But that would have been fun. I mean, they had a lot of good cameos in here.
Yeah, they did.
And I mean, even and then some actors that weren't as well known. Rainn Wilson, is
Rainn Wilson, Eric Stone Street.
Yeah, Eric Stone Street. Yep.
The clerk or whatever.
Hotel.
The guy that like the Bowie scene, the guy that screams out, "It's Bowie!" That was Nick Swartzen. Which is weird enough.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, the one thing I wish I could change. I want to recast Jimmy Fallon. I didn't like him in that part at all.
No. I didn't. So okay, I wasn't like head over heels in love with Jimmy Fallon here.
Yeah.
But I thought he fit well. I just didn't understand what they were doing with the character as a plot point. Because he comes in and they're like, they're like, oh, the record company's got this new manager out here. And they're like, all right, we got to hear him out. And the way that whole scene unfolds, it's like they're trying to have to decide whether they're going to boot out their friend, who's their current manager, or keep him or whatever. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh no, he's here to help their current manager like become better. And I'm like, that's not what they were saying when they were bringing him into the room. At least that's not the way I took it. But anyway, why didn't you like Jimmy Fallon in it?
I just didn't like him in the part. I don't know. I don't like Jimmy Fallon as an actor. There's nothing I've not much I've seen of him acting wise where I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sold on that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy. Love him as a late night host, like as far as like, hobnobbing with celebrities and like talking with them and hanging out and stuff like that. He's entertaining. And even like SNL, he was fun. He was always the first one to crack. Like he couldn't maintain character. Yeah. And I feel like this was just like an excuse to use him at this point in his career where he's got some heat, and he was using it. It seemed like he was using it as an excuse to do his Mick Jagger impression. Like he had like,
he did that.
That had to come right out. Like he had to do the Mick Jagger impression. Yeah. And I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I feel like we could have got somebody better for that part.
Well,
Absolutely.
who do you think you would have cast? Just off the top of your head.
Know. Yeah. Nah, I can't think of. I can't like wrap my head around like that time and who was around and who was doing what. I can't really come up with anything right off the top of my head. Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't like. It didn't. And he looked like he was in like a Saturday Night Live costume. Like it didn't fit with everybody else. It seemed out of place.
I will agree with that. It did look like I mean, everything else looked like it fit, from the hair to the clothing, like everything looked like, okay, we are in 1973.
Yeah.
I will admit that his did look like, oh, this looks like we're in 1990. When did this come out? 2000. We're in the year 2000 trying to dress like we're in 1973. Yeah.
And I think that's what it is for me, is like between the costuming and like his demeanor and the way he acts and stuff like that, he sticks out like a sore thumb. He definitely feels like a time traveler that's been inserted into the 70s, whereas everybody else feels like they've been pulled from the 70s.
Yeah.
But that was probably my only gripe throughout the whole movie was Jimmy Fallon, which, like I said, I like the guy. I love the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just didn't like him in this part. I don't know. You got any changes or problems with the movie?
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I feel like there's almost a step back with Russell just in that one spot. I get what you're saying with him like wanting to keep his bandmates happy, but I also feel like there was something there, like he's almost embarrassed to admit like this is how he behaves.
Okay.
Like he looks at himself as a serious like musician and somebody that's here to, I don't know, change the world.
Succumbs to his base desire so easily.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of a step back because you've really got this, I don't know, this arc of him finding himself and figuring out his place in this whole thing, and I don't know. I other than that, I don't know if I really would have changed much in this. I think it's pretty solid most of the way through. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really think it's pretty well cast. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have liked to have seen a little more Zoe Deschanel. Like, I liked the interaction with William and her. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. I get it. Like, there's not really room for it with the plot. Like, what's going to happen? Is she just going to show up at a concert and he's like, come back and meet the band, or whatever. Like, I don't know how they would have shoehorned that in there to make it actually work. But yeah, I don't know.
I would make one more change.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a change. Anna Paquin. I would swap her out with Christina Ricci, somebody like that. That was
that would have been really good. Yeah.
They've done a bunch, and now they're kind of like trying to figure out the next move. Boom. I mean, she'd have to be an older Band-Aid or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess it's 2000. Yeah.
Well, she would have been like 20, early 20s, early 20s, like 21.
Kate Hudson.
She would have been the same age as Hudson there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that could have worked.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like that better.
That's good.
Yeah, Anna Paquin looks too much like a kid.
She does. But William, well, of course, William's supposed to be 15, I guess.
True.
But you're right. Because I guess it's not beyond the realm of possibility by any stretch of the imagination that these rock stars are hooking up with these underage girls, because you're watching them when they're driving down the road. I think it's the bass player.
Oh yeah.
Is like, he looks out the window and he's like, "Oh, Russ, look, it's high school girls." And you're like, what is this? I didn't sign up for this kind of a movie. Like, what's going on here?
Rock stars.
It's just, it's really weird. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, they would have, having her being younger isn't really that strange, I suppose.
No.
But so the airplane scene.
Yes, the confessionals.
I love just the cacophony of just chaos that ensues in this whole thing.
And then just cleared up.
It cleared up, but I think it's so funny. Like all the things they're admitting, and I know it takes a serious turn, but like Jimmy Fallon is like talking about how, what was it? I once hit a man.
I once hit a guy.
It was a hit and run at Dearborn. And that's when it's just like Russell's talking about, I love you guys. Like, I don't say this enough. And then Jimmy Fallon comes out and he's like, I hit and killed a man in Dearborn, Michigan. And I just kept on driving.
I don't know if he lived in that.
They're like, what? And then everything just opens wide, just comes wide open. And
oh yeah, Jason Lee had the affair with Russell's wife.
And he's like, what? You did this? And she's like, it didn't count. We were on a break, like all this.
Oh no, they were in that year of like non-monogamy or whatever.
Yeah. And then it spirals into William like, where I was? You were wondering where I was at last night. Here's where I was at. Penny was dying last night because of you. Like, this is what's going on.
And I love her.
Which is a 15-year-old. I didn't really quite grasp it watching it, but like afterwards I'm thinking like, how humorous would that be as you are all these adults, and you've got this 15-year-old that's just like just declaring his love for this groupie. That's just like, I guess so. I don't know.
Sure, kid, go for it.
Yeah. And then it just ends and they're all fine, and then it's just that silent walk off of the plane. That may be my favorite scene.
Gonna nail it right there. Airplane scene.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's a good one.
They finally just come to terms with everything. Like everything's been floating around the entire.
Just clears the air.
Yeah, clears the air. Like his wife, Russell's wife, knows that he's been messing around with her, but like it hasn't really been
messing
said.
around too, apparently.
They finally just say, "Let's clear the air. This is what's going on." And I don't know. It's a good scene. Yeah. And there's funny parts in it. So
obviously.
What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. All right. That's a good one. But I think my favorite scene is the house party rooftop jump into the pool. I'm on drugs. It's fantastic. That's just a great scene.
God.
I'm a golden god.
So I have a note on that. I experienced this.
Oh.
As in high school. Not me. I wasn't the golden god. But we we had a senior party, and we were out at a farm, and it was like the last Friday or whatever before graduation. We were out at a farm, and there was a kid that got up on, like, how those barns will have like the doors that open up that they would they would chuck hay bales and stuff out of.
Yeah, the loft doors. That was open. And there was several of them up there that were just kind of having their feet dangling over. And one guy came up there. He walked up there and he said, "I am a golden god." He must have watched this movie. I didn't get it at the time because I hadn't seen the movie then. And people were like, "Don't jump, don't jump." So wrong of me. I was like, "Jump." That's the only one. People like, "Don't tell him to jump. Don't tell him to jump." Like they had to like shut me up about it. But I knew he wasn't going to jump. But anyway, when I watched it, do what? Did he jump?
Did I? No, he didn't jump. No,
okay.
He didn't jump. He didn't jump. But as I'm watching this, it reminded me of that, in real life, and I had to just bring that up. But yeah, that's a good scene. That whole party scene is really. How cool would that be? Like, how cool is it for those guys? They see him, they're like, "Oh, Russell, hey, we're having a party. Do you just want to come hang out?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I do." How awesome would that be?
If that's your house, if you're the one that threw that party, you're the golden god. Like,
oh yeah,
nobody's going to forget you. Like, you are king of the school. and beyond. Like he's drinking on that for years to come.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy party. I've never been to any crazy party like that before. But, yeah.
I've been to one or two.
Right.
Well, I've got the Golden God story, and maybe another one, another story for another time. But
there you go. Well, we've done best scene. What about best line? Best line.
I like, as cheesy as it is, I like when William says, "I've got to get home," and then Penny is like,
"You are home.
You are home."
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I think it's really the underlying theme of this whole thing. It's just like, maybe not the underlying theme, but it's present in the whole thing. It's just the freedom of just being like, it's an endless summer, right? You're just driving around with this band, living on the road. Like, even if you're the band too, you're playing shows and you're just hanging out and having a good time. Yeah. And then, and the feeling of that with like, you are home, like that made me feel nostalgic for something that I don't even know exists.
You
like,
can't explain.
Like, whoa, like this is, I want to be there a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah. What about you?
Well, for me, it's, I was watching the movie and this one came out, and then I heard this one and I was like, oh, I love that. That's a great line. Mm-hmm. It's that scene towards the end where Rolling Stone is calling up and they're trying to get the everything verified. And then the band comes together and they're like, hey, did you hear Rolling Stone's calling? And they're all kind of like, we come off like jerks or whatever. And then Russell's laying on the bench and he says, maybe we just don't see ourselves the way we are. And that is just a great observation. We don't see ourselves the way we are. We do not. No. We see ourselves the way we want to be seen or the way we fear that we're seen. But we don't see ourselves the way that we truly are. Only other people can see us for who we truly are. Yeah. And I love that line. That's a great line. It's a great insight into just the human experience.
It is. It is. Nuggets of wisdom from Almost Famous.
Yeah. Right. Or Russell Crowe, I suppose.
Yeah. So the band Stillwater.
Yeah.
In real life, so Peter Frampton taught, I've got it brought up here. Billy, is it Crudup that played Russell? Peter Frampton actually taught him how to play guitar. So he would, he's not playing guitar in the movie, like per se, like he's not on the recording or anything. Yeah, he's air playing. But playing lead guitar on the tracks that Stillwater is in the movie. So Mike McCready of Pearl Jam is doing lead guitar on that. And then Nancy Wilson of Heart is playing rhythm guitar on those recordings, which I thought was pretty neat. And of course, Jason Lee is doing vocals on it. Yeah. I couldn't find who was doing like bass and drums, but I thought that was pretty cool having Mike McCready and Nancy Wilson on those. So there's again the $3.5 million budget for your
your music budget right there.
For your musical talent.
Writing all this original song. Yeah. You know who who that was based off of? Like who he actually toured with, Russell Crowe, as a kid? That he based all these stories around? Well, most of them.
You mean Cameron Crowe?
Cameron Crowe, yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Was it the Allman Brothers Band?
The Allman Brothers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought I read. Yeah. Now I need to listen to
a lot of it actually happened. Some version of it happened. Like the whole thing with like them denying the Rolling Stone story. Mm-hmm. Apparently they really did. Like they denied it.
Oh, really?
But as a joke, like they denied it and then like immediately like just like let them sweat for a minute and then called back and we're like, no, we're just playing. It's all true.
I see. Yeah.
But they were just kind of messing with him a little bit, which is, I thought was funny, but wouldn't have played as well in the movie. You wouldn't have the growth.
No. You wouldn't. I mean, that whole scene in the end is what you like, just ties the whole thing up.
That's what you're building to. That's right.
Yeah.
So would you go back like William did and grab that shirt off the chair?
Oh yeah. That's so funny. He like literally he goes off camera for just a second, doesn't he? Yeah. And then comes back and grabs it. It's absolutely. Yeah.
And that's a shirt that nobody else is going to have.
No, nobody else is going to. I mean, come on, though. I know that caused like a band fight, but it was so funny. Like,
yeah,
he's like, it was a mistake. The record company's mistake. It's just like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun. But yeah. When William goes back and grabs her, totally would.
Do you think that was a mistake? It was a real mistake, like that the record company made, or do you think somebody did that on purpose?
I think that I think that their manager genuinely told them to have like wanted the picture with Jason Lee on the front. I think he did, because I think I really do think he's trying his best with that band, and to do what they want to do, and to help them out,
to please them.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the record company. I think they're just like, this is the talent is here with Russell, right, really, and we got to have him as the
this is Shades for this. He's got he's the one that the ladies want to see.
Yeah,
put him up front.
Yep.
That's what they're gonna pay for. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
All right.
Tiny dancer scene.
Oh man, that's a great one. That's a great one.
So iconic. Yeah. If you think of anything, if you don't think of anything else in Almost Famous, you got to think of this tiny dancer scene, right?
Yeah,
and it's everything that builds up to it. Like, they've just had the fight, like they've Russell's like went on that bender overnight, and he they finally went and found him, and then he's back on the bus, and everything's like quiet, and leave it to Elton John to just make everything so much better.
Yeah, is this the best version of Tiny Dancer you've heard?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. I challenge you then. What's his name? Dave Grohl did an acoustic cover of Tiny Dancer on Howard Stern Show. Check it out.
On the Howard Stern Show. Okay.
Yes. An acoustic cover of Tiny Dancer by Dave Grohl. It's fantastic. It's the best version I've ever heard of it. Yeah.
There's, you know what? I'm going to have to look up some more covers on the Howard Stern Show, because I told you about that Carrie Underwood one of Mama, I'm Coming Home from Ozzy was really good. Now I got to listen to this, and it makes me wonder what else is out there.
How is there not? There's got to be like an album or a Spotify playlist or something.
Oh man, got to be
something.
Right.
Somebody's got something, right? Yeah. Nah. Anyways, the Polaroid camera.
Mm-hmm.
Something magical about a Polaroid camera. I never had one. I always wanted one. There's one thing that I always wanted. Yeah. Never had one. No, it's just magical though.
Yep. Yeah. I had one. I really wanted one for Christmas, or maybe it was my birthday, but I really wanted one. I remember getting it. It was like green, like a hunter green color or whatever. Yeah. And I took so many pictures with it. And actually, I think there's a couple that are over at Dad's house that are ones that I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's like I don't know. It's just not the same anymore. But
it's not. Man. I mean, it's not like anymore when they sell that stuff. It's like really just like pure nostalgia, because people just
it's not as good
and stuff now. No, it's not. And I almost think like the image quality is better on them now too, which kind of defeats the purpose. I feel like there was something to having
some magic to it.
Crappy image, but it's instantaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed out on that. I go back, I'll go get a Polaroid camera at some point.
Yeah.
That'd just be, or an Instamatic, unless something like that.
It was, but you only had like 20 shots with the thing. Like each roll was like 20 shots.
You know, 24 in a regular roll of film. So.
Well, that's true, I guess. Yeah. Something else that this movie made me think about was how much I miss listening to a full album.
Ooh,
now, we're in just a world of singles now. Like you just everything's just a single. You're wanting to hits, and I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody else. I like just I'll put on a playlist on my Apple Music or something, and I'll just listen to just give me the hits from the 1970s, or whatever. Because I was listening to a lot of 70s this week after I watched this.
This movie does that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Gosh, I remember like putting on CD, like I remember getting Led Zeppelin's 4 album when I was in high school,
Mm.
with Stairway and all that on there, and just laying down in bed, putting on the headphones and just listening to the thing in its entirety.
Yes.
And just, it's not really the same with, I mean, I know it's, so a CD is one thing, but it's definitely not the same if you're just like, oh, let's just put it on Spotify and let's listen to the whole album. Like, it just
I listen to full albums sometimes still.
But does it have the same feeling to you though? Like,
no, because it's usually like it's on while I'm doing something else.
Yeah,
it's not.
You're not making it the primary activity.
Yeah.
Of that point is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I want to get for my office. Is like I found the Beach Boys album,
mm-hmm.
and then I picked up that record player out of a dead storage unit, which doesn't work. So I need to like tinker with it to get it to work again.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like it won't even power on. So I think it's like something underneath. But anyways, there's not much to them. And other than that, it's in pretty decent shape. So I'm going to try and get it running. And then if I can, I think I'm going to just like, take some time when I want to relax and unwind, put on a record and just sit back and just let the music play. Because that is like, that's something I miss for sure. Is just sitting back and just listening to music. And really, like, for me, it was always like in my 20s, getting in the truck, putting on a CD, because this was, CD time.
No, sure.
And just driving the highway for like an hour or two, just looping and listening to music. That was good times.
Yeah.
Just myself, just alone with my thoughts and just listening to music.
You can't beat it, man.
No, you can't. Especially at like 3 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody on the road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Man,
I like one of the little buttons. I like one of the little buttons in the movie whenever they get back on the tour bus, finally, Dolores. And it's towards the end of the movie. Did you notice the name of the tour on the bus?
The No Airplane Tour or something
the
like
No
that.
Airplanes Tour of 1974. I like that.
Yeah.
You think they ever rode on a plane again?
I don't think they ever did again.
I mean, the kind of experiences that steel you against it.
Well, it's like not even just like the near brush with death. It's like their entire lives just like spilled out in front of them for everybody to see. And then they almost died. And I don't think that's an experience that they're like really excited to relive potentially. So, yeah.
All right, I got one more question for you. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm tapped out.
Tapped out. All right.
Love this movie.
My question is, it's kind of like you think they can make a sequel type thing, but where are they in 10 years? What do you think this looks like in 10 years for any of them?
I think that still.
I mean, we know what happened with William.
Yeah. He ends up. What does happen with William? Oh, I guess if we're like saying
famous movie director
Cameron Crowe, then we've got that. I think Stillwater's still going. I think that they had a real epiphany with all of that. And
did they go glam rock in the 80s?
They're like the Allman Brothers band, right? I mean, they are. Okay. So they're the Allman. Yeah. They're still touring. They're still doing their thing, and yeah. I think so. I think Penny. What does Penny do? I don't know. We've all known a Penny Lane, right? Like that. That just kind of like free spirited, kind of like whatever. But they eventually come back, right? They eventually grow out of that. They come back. I like to think that, or they don't.
She's one that would though. Like she went home whenever things got tough, and she regrounded herself. Yeah,
I think she went to Morocco.
All right.
She comes back, and she didn't live far from William. She knows where he lives. She knows how to get a hold of him. I think that she, he's probably growing up at this point. I think they get together and they're living somewhere with a nice family. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like a happy ending. So,
yeah.
there we go.
I see that. Yeah, I think
his mom's enjoying the grandkids. And
oh, yeah. Well, yeah, she would love grandkids.
yeah.
She wouldn't let them go anywhere or do anything. She wouldn't let the grandma spoil.
Yeah.
They wouldn't love her, though, because she wouldn't be the one to give them ice cream and cookies and stuff.
Right. That's right.
She'd be giving them books and homework.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think William, he continues to write and goes off and gets more into music reporting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with Stillwater, like they continue playing. I don't think they ever achieve much higher levels of success. I feel like they kind of middle throughout their career, but they're steady and they, continue to put out albums. But I think Penny, she goes off to Morocco and she doesn't tour. She explores the world for a bit. She goes like full bohemian, just, bounces around from place to place, like all over the world, makes new friends, works a lot of jobs here and there, whatever she's got to do. Eventually, like maybe she comes back home 5, maybe 10 years later. And I think she settles in, and her settled life is like, maybe she's an art teacher, maybe a yoga teacher, something like that. Maybe a pottery studio. I don't know. Something creative.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. Yeah.
Creative, but not lucrative.
Yeah, there you go.
She marries like a dentist or something like that, so she doesn't have to worry about
money. Fair enough. So in this reality, and I guess maybe in my reality too, that we're painting a picture of here.
Yeah.
Russell and William, are they still friends?
I think yeah, I think they talk. They give each other, they have respect. And they, earned respect. And Russell, I don't think he harbors any resentments. I think he looks at him with more respect after all this has happened, especially as the years go on and he continues to thrive as a writer. And but yeah, I think I don't know about like close friends. I don't think they're like hanging out on the weekends, but whenever they run into each other, there's definitely like, let's go have a drink. Like, let's catch up type of friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I that's what I think. I don't think they're like, I got a party going on, or my daughter's 5th birthday party. Russell, you want to come on over to it,
No, I do think they Haggard, Jason Lee's character. I think they replaced him at one point. He got Sammy Haggard. But
you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe so. I guess
his ego got the better of him, and they replaced him for a good 5, maybe 10 years, and then things got stale, and he came back, tail between his legs, and they did a reunion tour and everything.
Yeah.
All right, I think we fleshed out a good.
There we go. Now there's the sequel. We don't need a sequel, so we've just given you the sequels. That's
all right. Well, that was Almost Famous. That was a lot of Almost Famous. Thanks for hanging around with us. That was it was one of our longer episodes for sure. But that one went pretty good. All right, let's just go right into it. Still popcorn. You got any still popcorn from me this week?
I don't. I was trying to think about something when before we started this episode, and I
blank. Nothing.
Do you have any stale popcorn? You got anything that's been on your mind?
Yeah, well, actually, just something that came up today. So, I heard this wild story. I read this wild story. Bob Newhart. You know Bob Newhart.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Cisco is? The guy that sang the thong song. Yes, that guy. Oh, yeah. Apparently, in the early 2000s,
music hero.
Yeah. I know. Apparently, in the early 2000s, Bob Newhart and Cisco had a sitcom together that was like a pilot. It's an untitled Cisco TV comedy or something like that. I think they just filmed the pilot. That was it. And it never saw the light of day. It was buried. You can't find it apparently. But I was reading, Kenan Thompson's been reading his autobiography. Mm-hmm. And I'm at the point, like, I'm about halfway, and he's talking about, like, his life after all that and everything, before he gets on SNL, and he's just kind of, like, figuring it out in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And this was one thing that he was on, was this, like, weird sitcom with Cisco and Bob Newhart. Like, I have two people to be paired together in Hollywood. Weird. I would have never thought of the two of them. Apparently it happened. It's wild.
That really makes you wonder, like, what other just
wild, crazy sitcoms.
Some pilots are just out there completely buried in somebody's basement, like
just actors not willing to talk about it, like it never happened. It's a bad memory.
Gosh.
Yeah,
crazy. That is wild.
It's wild Hollywood. But anyways, that's all I had. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
I do have a gum under the seat for you too.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's really like you were talking. We started out the episode talking about Lego, our favorite Legos growing up, and right before, like we signed off, or we went into the intro. Mm-hmm. I was reminded. Did you see that they're putting out a Game Boy Lego set? Like you can like build almost a 1-to-1 Game Boy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. That's like, I think that's the next Lego set I want to get, is that.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd bring that up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty sweet. I did see that. I like that they've been doing little things like that. It's kind of fun, really more is it like a little collector's item just to keep on your shelf. And
they got Sega controller coming out too, apparently, which I thought was interesting. A Sega Genesis controller. Yeah. It's supposed to be a gift thing, with a gift with purchase thing, apparently. So I'm wondering like if there's like if they're going to do like a Sega Genesis or what, but it's been
I'd really be interested in one if it worked, working one. It was built out of Legos. Wouldn't that be wild?
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, any other gum under the seat from our adoring public?
I did. They're not adoring this week. I didn't. I didn't have any gum under the seat. So.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that happens. Well, be sure to give us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking on these subjects that we're talking about. We'd love to hear it. You can send us an email at thispodcasttakestokens@gmail.com. Like I said, you can comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't know that many other places allow you comments. Like I don't think you can Spotify. You can comment on Spotify. You can find us on social media too. This Podcast Takes Tokens. Send us a message there. Facebook, Instagram. We're not on TikTok. That just doesn't feel like the right vibe for us. But that's about all I got. You ready for next week's retro ramble?
Yes.
All right. So this one is a little bit of homework, and I apologize for that. It's not a lot of work. It's really nothing. This is more of a keep this in mind type of thing.
Okay.
So I want you to pay attention for something this week and then tell me about it. And that is, what was the last song you carpool karaoke'd out to? So when we come back next week, without influencing it at all,
karaoke.
What was the last song you carpool karaoke? Like, belted it out in the car too.
Yeah.
Song comes on, you can't help it. Just get into it.
You're talking about with a group of people?
No, just like you by yourself.
Just by okay.
Song comes on, you feel like singing with it. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be with a group. I don't know what else to call it. Carpool karaoke. What else would you call it? Where you're singing alone in the car? I don't know.
Singing alone like the carpool karaoke sounds so much better. Yeah.
So
I like it.
Yep. So when we come back next week, just make a mental note of whatever the last song was that just came on and you couldn't help yourself and you had to sing along.
Yeah.
And
sounds good.
We'll discuss. Other than that, you got anything left for me? I think I'm all out.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Well, we are looking for the one guy who isn't listening. And if you know who that guy is, you can share it with him. Other than that, we're out. We'll see y'all next week. Be kind, rewind. We'll see y'all around.
Don't take drugs.